Well, welcome to our 25th consecutive Global Connectivity Conference on real estate for CIPS only. We are very delighted that we have continuously, for the last 25 months, we have met, discussed, share ideas, and talk about issues to promote our global network and CIPS designation. Because there is a power in this designation, and we can see legend Spencer Hoy is well known to everyone, Wendy is well known to everybody. They have done so much contribution. I am a beginner trying to do my part with all of you to building this network stronger and stronger. So I'm going to share my screen to give you idea of what's happening in Toronto, Ontario, and Canada. And then we'll share with you some things that I've been doing that will help you to understand and learn more about how to do business in Canada as well as global. So I'm going to share my screen. Please turn off your mics, and just so it doesn't disturb, we have a conversation after that. So we're going to start from here, slide. And like I mentioned, this is our 25th Global Connectivity Conference. And the goal of Realty Coffee Talk, which is the organizer of this conference, is to create connectivity and to increase awareness and building consumer confidence in real estate, because our business depends on consumer, and also promote good ethics and business practices in our profession. We are member of NAR. We have this global connectivity conference is creating and bringing all the CIPS as a partner together. So we build our confidence, and we also refer to each other clients because we deal with our appropriate jurisdiction. So we are very professionally governed by the highest standards and practice of CIPS designee of NAR. So this is the geographic area where I practice real estate. I'm going to share with you some information. As you know that right now in in Canada, the federal government have put a restriction for 2 years. So foreigner or non-resident cannot buy any property. Therefore, lots of people are moving toward USA. And by having to participate in this program and is share all social network, and you have a potential either getting a referral from me or directly through my network. So this is I'm a member of Toronto Regional Real Estate Board. This is the February report, year-over-year summary. We have in 22, 9,028 deal sale transaction. In 23 is 4,783, which is minus 47% as compared to February was the highest average price in 2022 as compared to 23. So you can see them minus 17.9% as compared to 2022. But these are as compared to each month to month, and 2022 versus 23. And our new listing, minus 40.49%. We have 14,153 in 2022, and in 23 is 8,367. So its average is taking a longer day on the market, 144.4%, taking longer to sell the property. And same thing, property on the market, 300%. So it's taking much longer, and there are many factors because of that. We're going to talk about that. Okay. Here's the average prices in February. And the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board has a 416 area. This is a kind of downtown Toronto central area. And 905 is anything out of Toronto. For example, city of Mississauga, where I practice, Brampton, Milton, Oakville, and those areas. So if you can see that average price in 416 is 1.7 million, whereas 905 is 1.336 so million. So 416 price is always higher. And detached home, these are the sales that you can see from there. Semi is 1.28 million in Toronto, and semi-detached is $960,000 in 905, and townhome 1,005,000 in Toronto, and 917,000 in 905 area. Condo is 728,000 in Toronto and 662,000 in 905 area. So if you look at these sales now, year over year change, I'm going to go, instead of going through 905, 416, I'm going to say average. Minus 46.6% sale in 23 for detached home. Average price minus 19.9%. Similarly, semi-detached for both two areas, minus 46.5, and average price minus 21.4%. So you can see the townhouse minus 47.4%. This is a sale, and this is the average price. So average price for the townhome was minus 16.7 in February. Condo minus 47.3%, and average price minus 11.8. So sale is minus in February, and the average price is minus in February. Here, give you some chart. I changed the template. I look at the real estate, Toronto Region Board, and I took this out. So I want to share you here the December. From November to December, it was a positive 0.3. But from December to January, it was a minus 3.1% month to month. And you can see this in February, it went to minus 0.7. So it improves a little bit. But you can look at the average price here. It went down. So you can see this here as you're going down, that price is gone down. So it gives you an idea that it may improve because the Federal Bank of Canada or Bank of Canada has not increased the interest rate, benchmark rate. Therefore, this is the second term they have not increased it because inflation is going down as predicted right now. So maybe there is no, I'm going to share some with you, some survey I have done. So I think something like that you should be doing in your area. It will help you to engage your clients. And I'm going to share with you those things. So these are the same report that I shared in January. These are projections from Canadian Real Estate Association. So we are expecting 23 will be lower than 22, but 24 we're going to going up. So this is about projection forecasting for 23-24. So Canada-wise, they are saying is that it's going to be minus 0.5 across Canada. And in 2024, they're projecting 10.2% increase in sales across Canada. So you can see that we're going to be out of the wood now in 23. When we finish this, inflation come down, and they're projecting maybe 0.25% of interest rates will come down. Right now, the benchmark rate is 4.5 in Canada, whereas a variable rate or prime rate is 4.7. And that's why it was impacting. 23 was the more impacted because lots of people who have trouble to pay their mortgages, they're selling the property and they're taking longer to sell them now. And because of our OFSI rules, the benchmark, the stress test, less and less people are qualifying. So I am in Ontario, so I'm going to talk about Ontario. They are projecting in 23, there'll be minus 0.9. I have projected is going to be about 3% positive. Canadians are saying this is going to be across Canada minus 0.9. So let's see what happens. But 24, they are saying in 24, 14.6% increase. So it looks very bright in 24. So this information is available. Anybody need this slide, I'd be more than happy. This is a part of the recording that we're doing now. It will be shared with everyone. Now, these are the actual average prices. So they're saying is Canada-wide, they're expecting minus 5.9 price average price reduction as compared to 2022, but they're saying it's going to be 3.5% annual increase in 24. So let's look at the Ontario. They're saying is going to be minus 8.7% reduction from 2022, the average price. And in 2024, they're saying 1.1. I am disagreeing with this because they projected that before, and I projected they're going to be increased. We have an 8.3% increase in 2022, regardless of we have a reduction of 38% in sale, but price increase 8.36% last year. So we're hoping that this will be the case, that we will have a positive out picture. So you know that I do every weekly TV show, and this is a spring 23 home buying prediction in Ontario. So if you are interested, you can go to my YouTube channel and subscribe to this channel. You get to know there are more than 350 episodes now on there that you can learn about it. Idea is that for US friends, that you can use this template and create your own. I'm not saying that you go and use this. You can use it, it's free, but it gives you an idea of what you should be doing there, okay? So this is very famous topic. I did it 2 weeks ago. Now, this is the most recent one. I put it on last Thursday, real estate and mortgage governance, because there are a lot of changing happening in Ontario in terms of real estate, because we have now a new law is effective April 1st called TRREA. We used to have a Trust in Real Estate Services Act, sorry, the Business Broker Act, REBA, Real Estate Business Broker Act, is being changed to TRREA, Trust in Real Estate Services Act of 2002, effective 1 April. There are a lot of changes happening because they are eliminating the customer service. I don't know how you are governed back in the United States or other part of the world. We have a customer service before we have a client. They're eliminating the customer services. Now either you are a self-represented party or you are a client. And so there are definition, and the Ontario government is developing about 10 pages of a flyer that we have to share with them so they understand what is included, what is not included, and content of a representation agreement, which is buyer representation agreement, seller representation agreement is also being changed. There are very strict disclosures, consent, and acknowledgement requirement, and those multiple disclosure for the multiple representation and sharing of content of competing offers. Now this is a change where with the consent of the seller, the real estate professional will be allowed to share the information, offers about other. You got to have a consent now. So this is a very good thing that's happening now with the consent. So also about the material facts, you know, when you discover something is right or wrong about it, you have to disclose it. It is required now that you must disclose it, because if it's required by law, something is wrong with the property and somebody is hiding, you have an obligation to report it, and you have to educate your seller about it. Also, disclosure of property interest, and you know, if you have your own disclosure, someone related to the to the property or party you're representing, this is very important to disclose that. Or importantly is any disclosure of direct and indirect benefit. You know, sometimes people give you gift. Some give you referral fee because of the mortgage referral. That you have to disclose that, and you have to say how much is it, what is the source, and why you are getting it, how you are related, what property was referred to. So this kind of stuff is very important. And also conflict of interest is very big. This has to be done. Any obstruction, we cannot obstruct another real estate professional when you are dealing with the real estate, and make sure that you're cooperating and professionally, ethically, and protecting your client. So these are the disciplinary committee. They have more power now. What I'm learning is that if you have a serious offense, a registrant can be fined up to $50,000 for one mistake, and $100,000 fine to the brokerage. So that means emphasis is on more education, awareness, disclosure, and more competent professional services. Now, there's a lot of things now. In the past, we used to have a customer service. They eliminated that. We cannot offer anything to something that affect your client's interest. So we have to be very careful about what to disclose. So the buyer will have a choice either to become a client or be independent. And there are also potential that we haven't heard that yet, a designation that means a person, one represent the seller, one represent the buyer. We don't know yet, but I think that should be coming sometime in phase 3. Whereas right now, when you're doing a multiple representation, there's a lot of disclosure requirement you have to follow. So I kind of touch base in this presentation a little bit on that. And I think tonight I have a show, so I will be adding more things to it. Good thing to learn about it and see similarly when why I do this, because when I share my knowledge with people, people see me that how many people are doing it for free. I am doing it for free, but when they're looking for someone to serve them, and they call me and they want me to help them, and this is my promotion. So I recommend that all of you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, look at the template, create your own, and that'll help you to promote your business. This is a poll I want to share very quickly. Any gift or gratuity you consider giving in a real estate transaction must be your client or customer. It must be included in your BRA, buyer representation agreement, seller representation agreement. So in Ontario, you are required to disclose the benefit. Okay. So 20% said they will sign the BRA, buyer representation agreement. They disclose that. And yes, I include in my seller representation agreement says 0. 60% said I include in my both BRA and CRA. Reason that disclosure is important is that you are supposed to issue a tax receipt so they can show an income if they are going to take money from you as a gift. And this has to be in writing. And 20% said no, not applicable. So there were 806 people who participated, only 5% voted. So these are the people who have participated. This was about, do you expect any interest rate hike in 23? So 64% said up to 1%, 1 to 1.57%, 1 to 1.5. I think this is repeated. It was 1.5 to 1.7, 5%. This was a 1.5 to 1.75, and no interest rate, 25%. People did not realize that when I put this post, they were already increased 25% at 25 point already, but they still voted 25% yes, no increase, even though increase already happened. And you can see that there are more than 3,071 impressions, 71 voted. And this is the most recent one. Why do lenders drop the ball and not fund a deal at closing? You know this happened. Maybe it's happening in the United States as well. Why this happened? Because appraisal lower than the APS, agreement of purchase sale. 29%, when you make the negotiated deal, you're closing the deal in 2 months, price goes down, the bank says you have to come up with your appraised value is lower than the purchase value, you have to come up with more money. 29% said this is the cause of it. Inadequate disclosure by the buyer. 43% say the buyer does not disclose information, therefore deal falls apart. Bank doesn't give the money because they did not disclose proper source of income or evidence of their asset they have or notice of assessment from CREA. So lots of factors involved. So if they don't provide adequate disclosure and they discover something during due diligence, they refuse to pay and the deal fell apart. Lack of down payment because your appraised values goes down. Therefore, the buyer has to pay with more money and they don't have enough money for the down payment. And that's why 7% are those people who get involved. Other issues with transactions could be any reason that is 21% the deal has failed because of bank says, sorry, I won't give you money. What happened is because they did not give appropriate information, they are not disclosing information. And maybe in this case, I'm assuming the buyer failed to sell his house, his or her house. Maybe deal did not fell through. They could not close the deal. Therefore, they could not buy this house. That could be a reason when you are doing two closing at the same time, buying and selling it. So this gives you an idea that you can create some polls like that and do something to engage people. And I have this on all over the place. So I think, Yami, did you come in before this event before?
Yes, been to your events before.
Okay. So you are familiar with this system? So when you are dealing with a buyer, you need to create this template because I always share this information. So you need to have to make sure this information is prepared for your client. If you want me to help make a referral to you, I will be, because of my wife wasn't feeling good. So that's why I was a little bit slow on things. I have lots of global agreement that I have to sign, but I hopefully will be signing next week. But this is what template you can create for yourself that you have to do it. And this is a buying listed process about Toronto. If you have seen that, you're familiar with this. And these
No, I don't remember this part.
You don't remember this?
No.
So what I can do is, what you can do is, we can schedule in our one-to-one meeting. I have a WhatsApp global partner, my partner. You can join there. If you're not there, you can join me there. Then I can go through one-to-one with you, okay?
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, it's very good. So this is about me. I'm a broker of record, Facility Realty Inc. brokerage here in Toronto, and my contact information is there. And make sure you are, Yami, you're a member of our Global Real Estate Professional Network.
Global Real Estate Professional. I'm pretty sure I am because I've been a CIPS now for like since
This
2017.
is our private group that is seriously working to do business with each other. So our
Okay.
next conference will be on 26th of Global Conference on April 27 at 1 p.m. And this ends my presentation. So I'm going to go back to you guys and starting with Spencer. Any question you have over the presentation? Anything you'd like to add?
Nope, but I will add for us here in the US, Canada is one of the top countries that the US people are looking at. And definitely, as Tahir mentioned, because of the new regulations, very difficult for foreign buyers to buy in Canada. So we need to keep a watch on that. And I'm sure Tahir will update us if there's any changes or any ways to do it.
Absolutely. Right now, there is a restriction for 2 years. It's 23 and 24 is going to end on 31st December 24. If any other changes are happening in Ontario, we have our premier is projecting 1 million houses to be built very soon. They're doing lots of effort. We have 500,000 people coming every year for the next couple of years. So shortage of housing will continue to remain a problem here. So all the investors are going on the US side and buying it. If you have any project that you want to share, there is an actual project. I always focus on if you have an actual project that you want us to help you, I can have one-to-one meeting. I did have a meeting with few friends, and I'm going to be starting their sharing their information through my network. So, Spencer, you have a few minutes to go and speak about anything you want to talk about it, and then we're going to go and circle with everybody.
Yeah, definitely. So, as many of our friends know, we are active in Mexico. So, Mexico is the #1 location that US buyers are buying outside of US. #2 location that Canadian buyers are buying outside of Canada. And of course, we know the #1 location that Canadians are buying outside of Canada is the US. So, we do have a lot of properties that we work with within Mexico, primarily on the southeast side, which is Yucatan Peninsula, Cancun, Riviera Maya, Merida, those areas, and a few on the west coast, so Puerto Vallarta, Riviera Nayarit. All of these, of course, are what we would consider touristic locations. So where the travel is primary industry, and we selected these primarily because we like to choose properties that do have investment value. So if someone is buying, of course, they can use it themselves, but when they are not there, it does have value as a short-term rental property or as a mid-term rental or long-term rental, also possible. These properties, if it is a condo, we have offerings starting around $60,000, so very cheap. And then going all the way up to many millions. But of course, for investment grade, usually it's going to be under 500,000 is what we usually have the good bang for the buck. So definitely, if that's an option, it's very easy to market because most people, if they are investing already, they do understand investing outside of their home locations is an option. The statistic overall is between 10 to 15% of your database is already looking or has already done it. So you missed the opportunity. So as Tahir is mentioning, try to get the word out what you do to your people, whether it's doing videos, doing these presentations like this, posting on your social media. The more people that know what you do, the more potential business you have, whether you can handle it yourself in-house or you can refer it to your partners, whoever the partner is in what location. And then I will end with, we do have foreign national lending programs. So for those that are representing clients that are not US residents tax-wise, which is pretty much everyone that is not a US citizen or not a green card holder, we do have foreign national lending programs that are more lenient than the big box banks. So if you have any clients looking to buy in the US, whatever state, we do operate in multiple states, so we have options. And thank you for putting this together every month to hear.
Thank you very much. Spencer has been a great motivator, leader in real estate, global real estate. And you have seen his seminars, a very inspiring young professional. You know, I turned 70 about 2 days ago, 3 days ago. And I see the energy of young professional. I love it because, you know, they are our future of our profession. And older people as phase out, the young people come in, and he and other people have seen their energy is unbelievable. And this is what I love about it. I thought I am energetic this age myself, but young professional have taken over and helping everyone. Good thing about is that you have a power in your hand as a CIPS. Use it. If you cannot fly out to Florida or Bangkok or Vietnam, if you have a partner, if you get a small piece of the pie, is better than nothing. So why you let the business go if you know someone that somebody going to be flying out, hey, wait a minute, I got a partner there. I can help you to find this and make the referral. And that's it. And then your partner will take care of that. So now I'm going to ask Wendy, my friend, go ahead. It's always exciting to see you. You can see that small change.
I have it for you to hear. I'll throw some of this over your way, okay? I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a market update, and I'll do it really fast for Orlando, and then I'll tell you about a project that I'm doing personally that you guys have first dibs on. So essentially our inventory, and this is looking at February 2023 official numbers. So we're a month behind lag, and the new numbers should be out in the next week or so for this month. But anyway, for February, the inventory has raised from last year 140%, and new listings were down 23%. New contracts down 23%, which tracks the listing shrinkage. And then total pendings were down 19%. So that's all in correlation with those numbers. So thereby, closed sales were down 30%. That is significant if you consider the volume of 3,198 closed units compared to 2,240. And with as many licensed realtors as we have in Central Florida, we have about a 20,000 member association here. That just kind of gives you an idea of where we are. Average price did shrink from 438. 375 down to 401. So we did see some little bit of change there, and then the median price from 2023 at 358, it just climbed a little bit over 345. So not a whole bunch of gain there, only 3.8%. But that used to be the normal. Remember, that was like the norm forever, and then it became 20 and 50 and 100. So it's still on par. Average days on the market, February 2023, we doubled. We went over 106%. We went from 30 days to 62 days. So you really got to price it properly. Average days to sale went from 63 to 93. So you're seeing a 47% uptick there. And months of supply went from 0.72 to 2.48, which is still way under a normal balanced market. So we're still clicking here. So that's what's going on in Central Florida. I know you guys got that in summary because you know the numbers and you know what that means on the bigger scale. As far as what I'm up to, we just went under contract on a project in High Springs, Florida. And it is a tourist opportunity. So I do want to make sure you guys are aware of it since this is the commercial group. So I'm going to tell you the spiel really quickly of the overall plan. The name of the community temporarily will be called Ashraya, which in Hindi means shelter. The goal is to develop 40 acres for a total 65 units of luxury eco-friendly homes priced $1.5 million to $7 million that will integrate with the live oaks on this property. Many of the live oaks are aged 200 to 300 years old. And it has a serene landscape, and we're going to connect with ecotourism in the immediate community of mountain biking, running, walking, scuba diving, Florida Springs, which are in bicycle distance of this property, and you can bicycle to the river from this property and connect to the historic downtown. So it is a tourist town. It is north of Gainesville, Florida, which is world-renowned for the Florida Gators. And the Shands Medical Hospital. So many of the investors in this community are retired doctors and retired professors from University of Florida and Shands Medical Center. So you're going to see a lot of integration with some community redevelopment district that we're talking with the local municipality that includes lots of commercial opportunities, which we'll talk about in another show. But thank you Tahir for letting me update you on Orlando and Central Florida greater area. I'm your Florida and Caribbean connection. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yami, your turn. Tell us
Oh,
about
yes.
yourself and also about what's happening in your area.
Okay, let me tell you. Let me go back here. 1 second. Okay, there I am. So myself, I'm here in Southern California, and I would say sunny, but it's been raining. We've had pretty good amount of rain and wind, and it doesn't seem like Southern California, but it is beautiful because as you drive, you see the hills. It looks beautiful, beautiful. So it's a good time to drive around and enjoy and relax. On my end, I have a lot of investor clients who are looking for properties at this point. We do not have enough inventory in Orange County, and these individuals, because of the stock market, they're like, okay, we want to be able to go and invest now, park our money in real estate. And so I'm reaching out to everyone who sees this video. If you have any clients who are willing to sell in Orange County or anywhere in Southern California, please reach out because I do have plenty of individuals ready to go, ready to buy a property. It doesn't matter the condition. It can be in poor condition. It can be totally done. It doesn't matter. We will get it done. And on a personal note, I do have some land in Costa Rica that I am thinking of selling soon. So I need to, and I only, it's a little over a hectare size-wise, and I need to get the map going, get a few things going, which a friend is going to be helping me out do that. Once I have it, then I can start talking about it and showing photos and location and all that kind of stuff. But it is in the middle of the country. It is about 45 minutes to the beach, and there's some nice mountains close by and a very nice hotel close by. Regarding, let's see, let me go here. I wanted to read a little bit. I subscribe to Stephen Thomas, the housing report for Orange County, and I wanted to just read one little thing from there so you guys can see. The housing market has evolved yet again in 2023. The supply of available homes has been dropping while buyer demand has risen. The inventory declined from 2530 homes in January to 2168 today, which this report was, I believe, this Monday, a drop of 14%. On the other hand, demand has grown from 900 pending sales in January to 1567 today. The difference between supply and demand has diminished from 1630 in January to 601 today. It is the smallest difference since May last year. The market time dropped from 84 days in January to 42 days today, its lowest level since 2022. Anything below 50 days indicate that not enough homes are available to purchase. That's the thing is going on here.
Fantastic, fantastic. The purpose of this conversation every month is to let us know what's happening in the market area where you're working, and when you are attracting buyers, because for business is either somebody has a property to list or has to buy, and we have expertise. And I always look at the geographic area, which friend of mine in a very specific location and where we can help. And I think you have lots of templates to prepare your listing in Puerto Rico that you're talking about. Spencer can give you some idea of those. I also, in my presentation, there is a template that I created that you need to collect that information. If you join my group, I can create a PDF copy and put this slide there. So you can download it for everyone. Most important thing, people want to know, why should I invest in your area? Okay. What kind of taxes do I have to pay? What is the buying process? Do I need to hire a realtor or not? And what kind of property taxes I have to pay? Do I have to have a lawyer? Some people are exempt. Am I going to get immigration or not? Some people talk about that. So many areas that they talk about it. if you have one pager, I call them a template for the buyer, checklist for the buyer, that the growth of price has escalated for the last 10 years, and average annual increase is about 4, 5%, 6%, whatever that is. And also, if there is any taxes, if it's a build house, then you have to look at them, is if they are located in a condominium where they need to pay some kind of maintenance fees. What are the average costs of carrying a house when you buy it? And I noticed that, I think, whether I'm right or wrong, that property taxes in the United States are a little bit higher than Canada. This my feeling is, because I remember about 6 years ago, I was in Johnson City, where my son was practicing, and he's here in Toronto. For a similar house that I have, the previous house, I was paying about $5,000. They were paying $18,000 taxes. So that you have to know that. So when you are selling a land, what type of expenses the buyer has to incur, or what are the rate of return on investment? Why they invest in the property? Is it in your case, is it development land? What is the demographic nearby? What are the potential? You mentioned about 45-minute drive to the waterfront, whatever. So these are the area information that you need to share on your paper, on top of the videography that you're going to do with a drone video. It's very attractive. I think Wendy has done some. I do every listing I do here, I have a drone video, because it's very attractive. So create that thing information, then it will be helpful to you, and then you can share with all of us, then we can help to find you a client.
Thank you.
Well,
As a matter
thank you very much for all of you joining. I really appreciate your time, and I will be sharing this video on YouTube channel. Please visit realtycoffeetalk.com. There are about 350 episodes, and you can subscribe to them. Each time I upload new program, purpose is to educate the consumer as a professional, follow the code of ethics that we have, because we're professional, and we're expected to be honest, professional, competent. You can, in my company has a trademark called pitch. Everybody talk about sale pitch. I define that. I registered a definition of pitch. So P stand for professional. I stand for integrity. T stand for trustworthy. C stand for competency. H stand for honesty. And therefore, if you compromise, these are 5 pillars of principles that you create, deliver a valuable service to your client. If you compromise them, you will have a problem, and you should not be dealing with that. So this is my trademark, registered Canadian Intellectual Property Office. Before I end the program, I think Wendy wanted to say something.
Yes, Tahir. One thing I wanted you to cover, since we are a small group and we're not recording at this, or we still are recording.
Yes.
I wanted to do a referral in real time to you, and just to kind of show how we can work collaboratively. So I have 2 listings here in Florida that I am the list agent for, and I'm going to be sending them over to you, and you have the ability to send me some specific paperwork allowing me to share that listing with your audience. Can you just briefly go through that for everyone listening, so they can see the power of the connectivity in process?
Absolutely. And you know that we have world's largest MLS system. And if we have cooperation between us, I can put your listing on our MLS system. If you sign certain document with the consent of the seller, then I can put on MLS. And you know that I cannot sell them. I only put them in the market if somebody say, if it is direct client come to me, I will send it to Wendy. If a realtor come and say, I want to be paid too, so if Wendy say, I give you 2%, I'll give them 1%, 50%. Therefore, everybody makes some money. Okay. So we have the world's largest MLS system here, right here in Canada. So feel free to send me, I'll review it, I'll see if there's something I can do. I will get it done for you. Thank you very much for watching, and I really appreciate it. Looking forward to see you on our 26th Global Community Conference on 27th of April, or it's the Thursday at 1 p.m. Thank you. Bye for now. May God bless you all.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, thank you,
Take care. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, Spencer. Great to see you, Yummy.
Great
Bye-bye.
to see you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.